Hi everybody! Today I'm going to be sharing with you 3 simple exercises you can use to focus your mind and sustain concentration. I do find that many of us think that focusing our mind means the same thing as not getting distracted, and that's a pretty unrealistic expectation. The science shows us that mind wandering is actually very normal. This is just something that minds do. And it's those punitive thoughts and self-criticisms that we get caught up in that are what frustrate us and lead to some pretty unhelpful beliefs that stop us from developing attention as a skill set. That voice in your head that's talking to you all day long and commenting on everything is completely normal, and we all have it. It judges us, it judges other people, it judges the situations we're in. It's really a part of its job. So while we can't get rid of it, nor would we honestly want to, we can, through attention training techniques like what I'll share with you today, get better at managing the voice and desensitizing ourselves from it a little bit at times when it's really just distracting. And just like any skill that you can develop over time, you will get better at managing your mind and sustaining concentration. So you can formally practice these sitting down like we'll do today, but you can also practice these exercises on the go, anytime, anywhere. A word of warning though, if you're new to this kind of thing, training the mind is a little bit like training a puppy dog to learn how to sit, if you've ever done that before. So you'll probably notice that the mind is pretty jumpy at first, but I promise that if you practice on a regular basis, even if it's just 1 minute a day, your brain will learn and it will get better at being able to settle and sit. So the first technique is just listening to sounds, and I'm going to walk you through it step by step. Step 1, get comfortable and close your eyes if you want to. Step 2 is just pay attention to the sounds happening all around you. See if you can listen to them with your whole body. See if you can let them just come and go. Step 3, and this is the hard part. Your mind is going to start naming the sounds, drawing a story around the sounds, or distracting you, and you'll forget about the sounds completely. Any of this is normal. Now all you have to do is come back and start listening to the sounds again. The second technique I'll share with you is just simply focusing on the breath. So we'll set the timer. The steps are pretty much the same. And like the last practice, you can increase the amount of time that you do this the more that you develop the skill. Step 1, get comfortable, close your eyes if you want to, and focus on your breathing. Focus on whatever part of your breathing is most obvious, whether that's in your stomach, your chest, your nose. Step 2, follow the breath for the full inhale and the full exhale. See if you can stay with the breath for the full start to finish and the pauses in between. Step 3 happens once the mind starts to jump around. You just notice that that's what minds do, that's what's happening, and very patiently come back to the breath, no matter how many times your mind tries to run away. And so the third technique is the news report. So you'll sit and visualize yourself watching the news. The news reporter will be reporting whatever thoughts come to mind. You can also visualize the ticker tape going across the screen and make that be your thoughts if you prefer. It's up to you. But what I like about this practice is that just like watching the news, the mind tends to catastrophize and focus on the negative. So this practice is kind of a fun way to help us, become less distracted by such negative thinking, normalize it for ourselves a little bit. Step 1, get comfortable, close your eyes if you want to, and imagine yourself sitting and watching the news. Take a minute to feel yourself physically sitting in the chair or wherever you are so that you can establish the difference between you and what you're seeing on the screen. Step 2, let your thoughts scroll across the bottom of the screen like the ticker tape, or be the news reporter commentating whatever comes to mind. Step 3, if you stop having thoughts, don't worry about it. I promise that the ticker tape on the screen or the news commentator will start reporting again in a second. And if at any point you lose the distance between yourself and the thoughts on the screen, kind of like you've jumped into the news report and become the reporter for a second, just the minute you've noticed that that's happened, you're successful. Stop, and it can be really helpful at this point to focus on the pressure of yourself sitting in your chair. So those are the techniques I wanted to share with you, and like I said, I really like them because I do think they help normalize this whole thing of getting distracted, of mind chatter, all of this being just something that minds do. I also like them because I think they help us develop that attitude of open curiosity toward whatever we're focusing on, whether that be the sounds you're listening for, the breath that you're tracking, or the thoughts that you're viewing with distance on the screen. And this is really important because it's actually the attitude of open, curious attention to what you're doing that allows you to get better at focusing the mind. Leave me a comment below if you have other attention training techniques that you use. I would love to hear about them. Hit that thumbs up if you liked this video, and the subscribe button if you want to see more from me on topics of mental health. And if you're a student, I've created a study habits series, which goes really well with this video. So I've left a link in the description box below in case you want to check those out. All right, see you in the next video. Bye.